Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome to AdamMcKola TV. We are back for United Daily Live at our usual slot at 10:30 p.m. UK time every single night. Welcome to all of you guys that have joined us for this live video, and if you're watching us back after we have been live, thank you for joining us all the same. We have had loads of people watching and tuning in over the last couple of weeks, so thank you to everybody that has got involved on AdamMcKola TV. And make sure you're clicking that subscribe button and hitting the notifications bell as well, because these videos are so regular, you don't want to be missing out on the latest Manchester United transfer news. And earlier on today, we went live with some breaking news in relation to Alexis Sanchez, who is signing for Inter Milan in a permanent deal. It's a free deal, but it means Manchester United will save on spending 60 million euros in wages to Alexis Sanchez over the next 2 years. So it's a massive deal for Manchester United, and we'll be covering that deal again for you guys that have missed that news in relation to Alexis Sanchez. And we'll also be looking at the latest news in regards to Jadon Sancho. We heard Fabrizio Romano break some news earlier on today in relation to his future at Borussia Dortmund, and it looking like that future was destined for Manchester United. This move has been cranking up over the last couple of days. We have Bill coming out yesterday saying United were close to agreeing a 120 million euro fee. We have Fabrizio Romano saying the same, although the structure of that deal is very different. And we also have Fabrizio Romano saying that Jadon Sancho has agreed terms to join Manchester United until 2025. Those terms and that information that was pushed by Fabrizio Romano earlier has then been pushed on further by other different news outlets. Sky Germany, Sky Sports News, Telegraph, they've all been jumping on this now. So we were getting the latest information on Jadon Sancho's move to Manchester United, as it looks like we could be heading for an end in sight on that transfer deal, as it looked like we were set for a roller coaster. We kind of all felt that Jadon Sancho was going to come to Manchester United, but we felt like we were in it for the long haul. But this looks like it could be coming to an end very, very soon, which is great news for us. As you can see on the image, which is right there, Jude Bellingham and Jadon Sancho in training earlier on today for Borussia Dortmund. So Jadon Sancho is now back in training with Borussia Dortmund, although talks are continuing. Kyle Martinson, thank you for the super chat. How are you? I'm very good, thank you very much, especially with this news coming through. And Isaac with a super chat saying, I'm starting a petition for Conte to get a statue. I take it that's because he's taken our number 7 off our hands, Alexis Sanchez, and opened up the door for our new number 7 to be coming in. And let's get stuck into that transfer news in regards to Jadon Sancho. So this was what came out earlier on. Man United are in advanced talks with Dortmund over a £90 million Jadon Sancho. Now, it's going to be interesting how this is reported. Borussia Dortmund are going to want to let people know they got 120 million euros. United are going to want people to think we've got him for around 100 million euros and we've won out on the bidding. But in actuality, it's going to be probably around 90 million up top with bonuses. Now, these bonuses are being reported as a Ballon d'Or bonus, a Champions League winning bonus. So bonuses that we, as United fans, hope are completed, obviously. But the Ballon d'Or one's a rare one to be completed. Only 4 players have won it in the history whilst playing for Manchester United. That's Dennis Law, Sir Bobby Charlton, George Best and Cristiano Ronaldo. Nobody else has won it in their time at Manchester United. David Beckham went very close to winning it. So you could say, you know, the number 7s have kind of got away. Best and Ronaldo won it. David Beckham came second in Ballon d'Or. But it's a very difficult thing to do, do you know what I mean? So those kind of clauses will be beneficial to Manchester United because they will be performance-related clauses. Whereas Bill yesterday was saying there were guaranteed payments that were due. So it's looking like we need to settle those kind of terms, and I'm sure those are the things that are being negotiated at this moment in time. But I tend to side with Fabrizio Romano on this one. Prince says we need a Woodward poster on my wall. I'm not sure about that one right now. So let's get stuck into this. Man United are in advanced negotiations with Borussia Dortmund to sign Jadon Sancho for an initial £90 million, which is 100 million euros, 20 million euros shy of the fee that Borussia Dortmund want. So United have been tracking Sancho for some time, with talks over a move for the former Man City player having intensified in recent weeks. While there is no agreement yet with Dortmund as it stands, It is understood the German club could accept a deal that would involve United paying the fee in instalments over the next 2 or 3 seasons for the England forward, with a further 20 million euros potentially due in performance-related add-ons. So that could be Ballon d'Or, winning the Champions League, winning the Premier League, etc. So that is what they're saying in terms of the fee. £90 million up front with a further 20 million euros in add-ons. Now, in terms of United being tracking Sancho for some time, the Telegraph also reported today, just to bring in other reports as well to this so we can get a clearer picture of what's going on with Jadon Sancho. Telegraph also reported that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been on his trail for about 18 months now, which would be pretty much all of his time since he arrived here. Now, you could see when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer arrived, he wanted Marcus Rashford to play. He wanted Anthony Martial to play. He wanted Paul Pogba to play. He set his sights around a team that was young, attacking, had flair, but also had direction as well. And Jadon Sancho fits in with that. He fits in with that kind of mind frame. And we heard, we were in for him last year. Dortmund wanted 150 million euros, and it just wasn't going to happen, especially when United needed to get a load of other business done. Lukaku sold, Sanchez on loan. We had to obviously bring in other players. Woodward, thank God we never brought him in. Wan-Bissaka, Harry Maguire, etc., etc. So we had to get those deals done, and we couldn't afford to spend. Like, getting our defence sorted out was a bigger priority than sorting out a right wing position. And it was kind of like Oli went for a cheaper option in Daniel James, £15 million. He can still be a squad player in the future, and then bided time until we got to this summer when he could have got Jadon Sancho. And it looks like that preparation, that forward thinking, it's not, all of us would have seen Jadon Sancho coming to Man United. It's not it's not something out of the blue. It's not something, that is surprising everyone. But just having that forward thinking from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, thinking, all right, let me get this defence sorted. Let's bring in that plan B option in Daniel James. He can be our plan B for the meantime till we sort ourselves out. And then let's focus on Jadon Sancho, who will be our big marquee signing next summer. And he can be a cherry on the top of what's going on. We added Bruno Fernandes in between that time as well, which I think was a big, big boost for us. And when you look at the forward setup that we are picking up, if we can sort out that defence, there's no reason why we can't be expecting United to be challenging and trying to close that gap on Liverpool and Manchester City. Not saying we're going to win the league, but when you've got those kind of players in your team, as Sancho, Martial, Rashford, Bruno, Pogba, you'd be expecting to beat most teams that are put in front of you. You've just got to shore up what's there at the back. So tracking Sancho has seemingly paid off. He can see that Manchester United really want him. And when we heard about Chelsea coming in for him earlier on, that was knocked back. They've diverted their attention elsewhere. We've never really heard of any other club being able to come in and sway Jadon Sancho's attentions. And that's great as well, because just like Harry Maguire, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Daniel James, Bruno Fernandes, Odion Igalo, we're signing players that want to be playing for Manchester United. And Jadon Sancho stinks of wanting to play for Manchester United. When you just look at him, he looks like he's ready-made for Man United as well. And I hate to mention his name again, but Jack Grealish ticks those boxes too. But nevertheless, let's get back to this. Sancho, who left City at the age of 17 to move to the Bundesliga in 2017 in an effort to secure first-team football, is believed to be open to the move, having enjoyed a spectacular season in which he scored 17 league goals and provided 16 assists. He is expected to sign a 5-year contract at Old Trafford if he can reach an agreement with Dortmund, who are keen to resolve his future as soon as possible to enable them to purchase a replacement. So that is what is going on in this one at the moment. They want to get a replacement. Now, Fabrizio Romano also reported that replacement could be our former number 7, Memphis Depay. So it's almost like a former Sevens roundabout, with our new number 7 coming in the door at the same time, with Alexis Sanchez staying at Inter Milan, with Jadon Sancho coming to Manchester United, and Memphis Depay potentially being his replacement at Borussia Dortmund. Rishi Kamat with the super chat says Conte might leave. Does that affect the Sanchez deal? As far as we're aware, it hasn't and it doesn't. Fabrizio Romano has given it the here we go. Inter Milan registered him in their Europa League squad and he's available for them to play in the next game. United, like with Smalling, said if you haven't gotten a deal agreed for the player, then they will not be allowed to register him in their Europa League squad. They have. That to me suggests that the deal is done, and Fabrizio Romano is the transfer done So until proven otherwise, we'll suggest that one's going through. Shubarajit with the super chat says Van der Beek or Grealish. Massive fan of Van der Beek. I think he's an incredible talent, and I'd take him at Manchester United. I'd definitely take him at Manchester United. But you're asking me whether I'd like Jack Grealish or Van der Beek. Everyone knows I want Jack Grealish at Manchester United. It's as simple as that. Do what Regatal is saying and hit that like button on the video. We've got 1,261 of you watching right now. 1,261 legends tuned into AdamMcKola TV. Get hitting that like button. And if you're not subscribed, what the hell are you doing? Get subscribing as well. We're trying to hit 100k ASAP, and we're very close to 80k at this moment. Smoke Drink Pop says, how many signings do you think United will get done? I think it comes down to United's transfer business. So look, we've got Alexis Sanchez out the front, out the back door, and we've got his wages off our transfer bill. That's a massive relief to everyone at the club. Jadon Sancho will come in the other direction. We'll spend a fair chunk of our transfer budget up front for Jadon Sancho, but you'd expect we'd probably still have around £50 million to play around with. Or at least you'd hope so. Anyway, we've roughly spent around £150 million net most summers. We spent less last summer, but then you look at the Bruno Fernandes deal going out. So you look at it and you think, right, if we've got 150, which is the rumours, or around 150, we've got around 50 million left, 60 million. But let's say 50 million, just to be a little bit pessimistic. So let's say we can sell some of our players. Chris Smalling could potentially be sold to someone in England, maybe someone in Italy. It looks like that deal to Roma has fallen through. So let's say we can get some money for Chris Smalling, Phil Jones, Marcus Rojo, Andreas Pereira, Juan Mata, or Jesse Lingard. Let's say 5 of those players go. You've raised 20-30 million pounds, let's say. You got 80-90 million to play around with. So then you could potentially get a deal sorted for Jack Grealish, and you've still got around 30 million to get your centre half in. So I think we'll be doing maybe around 3 signings, 2 to 3 signings. I don't think it's going to be a massive window of activity. I think we could see way more players leave. I mean, 3 players are out on loan, so they're not even part of United's team. They're going to leave. So exclude those. I think we could see a further 4 or 5 players leave Manchester United, to be honest. You look at the call that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is doing at the moment. It's incredible. He's getting rid of the players that Manchester United fans have wanted to see got rid of. Plaman G with the super chat also says, with Sancho in the squad and Bruno having a full season, where do you think we will finish next season? I think we can challenge for the title. I think at the moment, whilst it's just, I'm going to say 2nd or 3rd, close the gap a little bit and then push on the following campaign. But you never know what can happen. Things can change very quickly. Steve Fletcher with the super chat with just loads of AdamMcKola TV emojis. So thank you very much for your super chat, mate. I appreciate your support as always. If you're wondering why some people like David, who says Aurier on the cheap, not for me. I don't fancy Aurier at United. Be a waste of time. We got our right back sorted. But like David, he's got a members logo next to his face. If you can, click that join button and get involved with AdamMcKola TV right about now. And you can get some exclusive content as well as supporting the cause. 1,500 people in the house. Get hitting that like button. Let's hit 500 likes before we go off this stream. We've got an On This Day coming up, as well as the Alexis Sanchez news, as well as the Chris Smalling news, as well as some Ryan Giggs quotes if you fancy it. But the On This Day is coming up next, straight after Ross Murphy's super chat, which is 2 videos on Paddock today. 2 videos. You must be well knackered. 2 videos here, 2 videos there. Yeah, there's loads of videos out today, but we are keeping it going. I love you too, Ross. Thank you for getting involved and keeping it locked. Right, let's get onto this On This Day then. It is the 3rd of August. I nearly forgot what day it was. 3rd of August 2011. So on this day in 2011, Eric Cantona takes a double swipe at neighbours City in a press association report published in the Irish Independent. He insists money-rich City would never match United unless they spend on their academy. He is quoted as saying, United are the best team. I don't know how City work. Maybe they are working on the academy, but they want to spend millions to buy players to build a team. They have been successful because they won the FA Cup, but if they only want to do that, they will not be as strong as Man United. United work on the long term and with young talent. Cantona, in the wake of City pair Carlos Tevez and Mario Balotelli's alleged dissatisfaction with Manchester's lifestyle, adds, they don't like this place. It depends upon where they come from and why. I had a great time here and a great time in the city, but the most important thing for me was to play for the best club in the world with the best players in the world. I was a professional player. I didn't try to find a city to enjoy it. The greatest time you can have is on the pitch. But Eric Cantona there saying United are the best team. I don't know how City work. Maybe they are working on the academy, but they want to spend millions to buy players to build a team. Obviously, United fell away from our traditions, and although we are spending millions on players and British record transfer fees, which we've always done throughout our time, you think back, even Keno was, I think, a British record transfer fee at the time. We've always spent big fees, but we've always recruited from within. We've always used our talent, and United have definitely got back to those traditions under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Carl Martinson with another super chat says it's early, but is the winter transfer window still in January or pushed back to March? I think it is still in January, mate. Although if I'm wrong, someone can correct me. Aramuru with the super chat says, if the rumours of Bayern selling Thiago for 30 million, shouldn't we go for him? The quality would be awesome. It doesn't look like we are in for him. I think he's a fantastic player. I'd love for him to sign for United, but I've heard a lot of talk about him going to Liverpool, so less said about that the better. Hakon, I hope I've said your name right, is watching and loving the channel all the way from Norway. We've also got Denmark in the house in the form of Adam Wiedemann, Bold Martin, Vish, Septic Meatball, Rishi's in the house, Jay Lindo, Ray Morale, David, FIFA Tom, Ben Soval, loads of you guys in the house. Thank you very much. Gala Glock, Ross Murphy. If I haven't said your names, I do apologise, but make sure you're hitting that like button, just like JC I'm sure has as well. Get hitting that like button, get commenting, get sharing, get subscribing, get keeping it locked on the day when Manchester United have taken one step closer to getting the Jadon Sancho. I say 2 steps closer actually. We've heard reports that a deal is agreed with Jadon Sancho, and a deal is very close to being agreed with Borussia Dortmund. We've agreed the fee, now it's about agreeing the structure. Fabrizio says it's 90 million up front, with add-ons taking it to 120 million euros, which would be 108 million pounds. So 18 million pounds in add-on to the 90 million pound up front. I'm sure United would put it out there as a 90 million pound deal, and Borussia Dortmund would put it out there as a 120 million euro deal, just to show that they have both won the bidding war. But those terms are agreed as well, and I'm sure those terms have been agreed for a long time. We heard reliable sources saying that terms were agreed with Jadon Sancho and Manchester United a long time ago. It was simply the clubs that had to now agree everything in that regard, and that has now seemingly taken a step closer. So it looks like we could have an end to this transfer saga already. We've got a new member as well, Regatal. Thank you very much for joining us on AdamMcKola TV. I really do appreciate you guys getting involved. Make sure you're hitting that join button if you can. If you can't hit the join button, then get hitting that like button or subscribe, yeah? So, this is the latest on Inter Milan. Someone mentioned earlier in regards to Antonio Conte, saying, what happens with Conte if he's not going to stay at Inter? Is the Alexis deal off? Well, the Alexis deal is not going to be off, no. But Fabrizio Romano reported this. Phone call today between Antonio Conte and Inter president Steven Zhang. No decision has been made about his future as Inter manager. The club and Conte will decide at the end of the Europa League if it's time to separate or continue together. I quite fancy that Inter Milan will stick with Conte. Obviously, I don't know too much. I haven't watched them week in, week out. But they've signed a lot of players to suit him. Lukaku was his player. Sanchez is going to be his. Like, a lot of players are coming in to suit him. Now, other managers will find uses for them, obviously, and Lukaku's a world-class striker no matter where you put him, regardless of his touch and all that. So, maybe they could move on, but they've done a lot to appease Antonio Conte and to satisfy him in the transfer market. So then to see them go away from that so quickly would be a surprise. The news from Fabrizio Romano on Sanchez earlier was total agreement reached between Inter and Manchester United on a permanent deal. Here we go. Those 3 words everybody wants to hear about a transfer saga, to say it's finally over. Here we go. He says Inter will not pay any fee to Man United. He'll join for free, and Inter will take charge of his full wage. So that's going to happen there with Alexis Sanchez going to Inter Milan. What great news for Manchester United fans that we can get him off our wage bill. It's unfortunately a transfer that didn't work out for Manchester United, but I've got to say it's the biggest waste of money we've ever had as a football club, especially when you consider his wages, what he delivered for United. I can think of 2 good performances, maybe 3 good performances, a handful though. Man City away when we turned over a 2-0 deficit to 3-2. The FA Cup semi-final against Spurs when we turned that around from 1-0. The Arsenal game in the same cup run, I think it was. It might have been in the same cup run. No, actually it was in the following cup run when we beat Arsenal. But 3 good games for United Alexis Sanchez had. He was on the biggest wage we've ever seen at the club. He clearly would have upset fellow teammates as well with his wage, you know. That's not going to be a great bargaining position for any club to be in when you've got the biggest waste of money on your wage bill in Alexis Sanchez and he's not delivering for you on the pitch. Now obviously he's a human being and you want to see him do well and go on and whatever, achieve things elsewhere, but we just needed to get rid of him. And frankly, we've done that early doors in the transfer window. We're not left sniffing around trying to get rid of Alexis Sanchez. Obviously, we did that thing where we said, you guys can't have Roma and Inter, you can't have Smalling and Sanchez for the Europa League. You got to get these permanent deals done, and we've got it done for Alexis Sanchez. It probably backfired on Smalling, but even then, I think you can get more money out of a club in England for Chris Smalling than you do out of Roma, because Roma, obviously they've got the bargaining chip of, well, Chris Smalling's happy here. Well, actually, but if you're not living up to the fee and you're not bidding for him, then what does that say? It doesn't say you want him, does it? So United can then say, well, we tried to do a deal with Roma. It never worked out. We're going to sell you for more elsewhere. So that could possibly work into our favour. Fingers crossed it does. But yeah, we need to get rid of him too. We need to get rid of Marcos Rojo. So get rid of those 3 players that are no longer at the club. And then within the squad, if you add Jadon Sancho, you sell maybe Juan Mata, Andreas Pereira, you bring in another attacking mid in, say, Jack Grealish. You've already got rid of Smalling and Rojo. You get rid of Jones. You bring in another centre half. I think your business is done for the transfer window. You promote Ethan Laird and Ted Mengi to the first team to battle it out with the first team and be there to provide backup. And I think you've got a fairly decent squad going into the into the new campaign. Of course, it would be great if you could get another deal done elsewhere to add a little bit more depth in certain positions, but I think that would be a good window for Manchester United. I really do. Dara O'Brien with the super chat, thank you very much, mate. He says, a central attacking midfielder in the mould of Grealish and we are title contenders. Name a better front 5 than a combination of Sancho, Rashford, Martial, Bruno, Pogba, Mason, Igalo and Grealish, I think he means by Cam, or the new say it again, Dara. Yo, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Those kind of deals is what we need to do. We need to get rid of Phil Jones. He is the last man standing. We were hoping, remember when we were saying we need rid of Smalling, we need rid of Rojo, we need to get rid of Jones, we needed rid of Alexis, Darmian, Lukaku, this, that and the other. And Ollie's come in and pretty much got every single one of them off the wage bill and out of the door. And that he has to be hailed for. That is for sure. So the latest news for you guys, we're now over 2,000. Get hitting that like button, get commenting, get sharing, get subscribing. The latest news for you guys, Jadon Sancho, apparently, according to Fabrizio Romano, has agreed terms with Manchester United until 2025, and the clubs are in advanced talks on a €120 million deal for the player to join Manchester United. He also reports Alexis Sanchez has signed for Inter Milan on a permanent deal, and he's given that the here we go. Chris Smalling's move to AS Roma has fallen through, so it looks like he will return to Manchester United, but fingers crossed we can find a buyer for him very, very soon. We're on 443 likes. I want to see it hit 500 at the minimum. 750, possibly 1,000. Is that too much to ask for? Get hitting that like button, get commenting, get sharing, get subscribing, get joining, get your super chats in if you can. We've got 5 more minutes left of this show. What else is there to chat about? Let's see if there's any more breaking news on the Tinter net right now. Keep your comments coming in. I've got these right here. Greenwood's got a new tattoo, says Feb 2016. We have seen Mason Greenwood getting a new tattoo. He is old enough to get a tattoo, isn't he? He is 18, isn't it? Yeah. Fair play to him. He's got the money to get it removed if you don't fancy it in a year or so. which is great stuff. Simon Stone's got some quotes on Jadon Sancho on 5 Live. Thank you to United Report for compiling this. He says, I think the deal will end up being done because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has made it clearly internally he wants the player. So this deal is getting done on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's say-so. What says goes from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. 2 hours ago as well, again, thank you to United Report for this. It was made official that Chris Smalling was not included in AS Roma's squad for the final stages of their Europa League, which means he's set for a return to Old Trafford unless this deal can get wrapped up. Now, they may be playing hardball with United and saying, well, we don't need him for the next leg. We'll get him in for the leg after that. Use that need to work. So, let's see what happens. But that deal's dragging on. We'll get rid of him. I'm confident we'll get rid of him. The big one to do was get rid of Alexis Sanchez, and we've did it. Seen the news on Paul Scholes? I haven't seen the news on Paul Scholes. Unless you mean the story which was in the Sun, then I don't want to talk about that because I don't want to give them any more attention than they deserve. We have now hit over 500 likes. Thank you very much for hitting the like button on the video, guys. I really do appreciate you all for tuning in to AdamMcKola TV, United Daily Live. Remember, if you're new around here, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button because we're live at 10:30 p.m. every single night with latest Manchester United news. And just like earlier when we went live when the Inter Milan Alexis Sanchez news broke, we'll also be live when there's news that is breaking as well. So you want to be here. I've not got any heat on my feet for this one. I've just got sliders on today, so no crep check as we did earlier on Full-Time Devils on Paddock. What do I think about the Raul Jimenez transfer, says Sandeep? Well, we already heard from United this week. I think it was yesterday they reported that they were definitely not interested in Raul Jimenez and didn't know where the story came from. That was via, obviously, briefings. So it's a strange story to pop out. I never really felt there was anything in it at the time. I've been right on Benoit Badiashile, by the way. I've been right on Gabriel. I've been right on that Raul Jimenez one. I've been right on Jaden Sancho, and my gut's telling me Jack Grealish needs to get signed, but I'm 50-50 on that one. So this summer so far, I'm going well. They are all predictions. I'm not in the know, but I'm trying to read what's out there. I'm trying to see what's out there, and then I try and put it all together and think, right, this is true, this is reliable, this isn't, that must be bullshit. These lot are just trying to get more clicks out of the situation. Nothing's really changed from what happened last week. It's only until the last 24 hours that we've really seen this news escalate in regards to Jaden Sancho, and it's no surprise that that coincides with Alexis Sanchez leaving as well and United getting Champions League football. So guys, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you're keeping it like, comment, share, subscribe. MU says, who was my favourite player of all time? It was David Beckham, as his book's there. I got that when I was a kid. Anything that David Beckham released, I got. His shower gel, aftershave, whatever, I had it. I even had the curtains. David Beckham, my favourite player of all time. But Eric Cantona is very close up there. The one that I wish I watched that I never got to see was obviously George Best. Being from a family that came from Belfast as well, he was obviously a big legend coming from those parts. But Beckham, Cantona, Giggs, Ronaldo, we only deal with legends at Man United. That's the thing, we've grown up on legends. And now my current favourite players are Rashford, Martial, Pogba. Martial's my favourite player, absolute baller. But all of them lot. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you're liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, keeping it locked. For now, I have been AdamMcKola. You lot have been legends. Thanks for tuning in. See you in a bit.